Okay, so let's do a review, okay? A complete sentence has a subject. We've learned about what complete sentences are. A complete sentence has a subject and a predicate that work together to make a complete thought. Okay, so you have to remember, in a complete sentence, you need to look for a subject and a predicate. Adon, you can get a chair and you can sit right there. So a complete subject tells us who or what the subject is about. Okay? And a complete predicate tells us what the subject does or is. Something that we learned the last lesson that we did was subject-verb agreement. Okay, so we're putting it all together now. We're connecting everything that we've learned so far. Subject-verb agreement is when the subject of a sentence matches the form of the verb. So for instance, in this sentence, right here, Bobby smiled until he thought his face would crack. Okay? Is there a complete subject? Raise your hand if you can identify the complete subject of that sentence. Who is the sentence about? Bobby. So the subject is Bobby. Raise your hand if you can identify the complete predicate. What did Bobby do?
He smiled until he thought his face would crack.
He smiled until he thought his face would crack. Now, let's check, because the verb is that he smiled, okay? Does it say Bobby smiles until he thought his face would crack?
No.
No, it says Bobby smiled. And we know that because the word thought, right, is in the past tense, the verb needs to be in the past tense as well, okay? So there is subject-verb agreement in that sentence. Yes or no?
I don't get why we can put ED.
Because if he thought about it, it doesn't say Bobby smiled until he think his face would crack. Thought is in the past, right? So smiled would have to agree with the verb, which is in the past as well. Okay?
So you have to ED to it, so
You have to correct it so that the verb agrees with the tense of the verb. Okay? Alright, so let's move on to compound sentences. We're finally there. A compound sentence is a sentence that has two simple sentences joined together. Okay, so I heard that in some of your definitions. Great job. When a compound sentence is joined together with a coordinating conjunction, some of our coordinating conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. And we add a comma before a coordinating conjunction. Okay? So why do we even write compound sentences? Compound sentences are used to combine complete sentences to avoid the boredom that would happen if all sentences were the same length. So you don't want to have to keep reading a simple sentence and stop, and then read another simple sentence and then stop, and then read another one and stop. We join them together with a conjunction so that it doesn't take as long to read the sentences, okay? And that's going to really help you in your writing, because you don't want to have run-on sentences. You want to be clear and concise when you're forming sentences in your work. So what is a conjunction? I want you to think of a conjunction as sort of like a train. It's like the word that brings it all together, okay? So do you see how right here I have an illustration of a train? Okay? So the sentence has different ideas, and the conjunction is used to hook groups of words or a complete sentence together, okay? So it's used to basically hook two or more complete sentences together to form one compound sentence. Any questions?
No.
So a word, this is an acronym, okay? Anybody know what an acronym is? Okay, well an acronym is basically like a word that it's including different meanings inside the word itself, okay? So an example that I thought would be really helpful for you to remember what a coordinating conjunction is the word fanboys. Everybody say fanboys.
Fanboys.
You're probably thinking, what's fanboys? fanboys, right?
Yeah.
Fanboys stands for the conjunctions that we, the coordinated conjunctions that we use in complete sentences. Those conjunctions are for, so the F stands for for, A stands for and stands for nor or neither. We don't really use nor too much anymore, so we more so use neither. B stands for but. O stands for or. Let's not be silly. O stands for or. Y stands for yet. And the S stands for so. So these are the conjunctions that you would use in a compound sentence. But today, because I'm only teaching you 3 lessons altogether, today we're going to focus on 4 of those conjunctions. And those 4 are and, but, or, and so. Okay, so today we're focusing on and, but, or, and so. So is this helpful to you guys to remember what it is? What the conjunctions are? Fanboys. Everybody say fanboys.
Fanboys.
Okay? And try to remember what the letters stand for. Yes, Adani.
But I don't know how you like did that. But I get how you break it apart, but I don't get it.
Okay, but you get how it's broken up.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right. So let's look at some examples of how we can use those conjunctions within a compound sentence, okay? So here's 2 simple sentences. 2 complete sentences. Simple and complete sentences, okay? 2 simple sentences. Sentence number 1. Susan ate dinner. Is there a subject and a predicate within that sentence? In Susan ate dinner? Tell me, what's the subject and what's the predicate in that sentence?
The subject is the Susan, and the
Predicate?
predicate is ate dinner.
Awesome, okay? Next sentence. Mother fixed the dessert. Is there a subject and a predicate within this sentence?
The subject is mother and fix the desert is the predicate.
It's the dessert. Excellent. Great job. Now let's put it together using a conjunction to form a compound sentence, because those were 2 complete thoughts that we can join together. Susan ate dinner and mother fixed the dessert. Okay? So do you see how on either side of the conjunction, right here, there are 2 complete sentences? Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
If you were to break up these 2 sentences, can they stand on their own as 2 complete thoughts? They could. You just saw that. All right.
But
Okay.
it can be the same too.
Let's see. Don't call out. Remember. Let's look at another example of 2 complete sentences standing on their own. You can come with us. There's a subject and there's a predicate. You is the subject and can come with us is the predicate. Next complete sentence. We are leaving early. Who can tell me the subject and predicate of that sentence? Go ahead.
The subject is we and the predicate is are we leaving early.
Awesome. Let's see if we can put it together using conjunction. What is a conjunction in this sentence?
But
Odani.
But
Okay? So let's see if we can join them together. You can come with us, but we are leaving early. Okay? And I want you to pay attention to the comma that's placed before the conjunction. Where do you place the comma? Before or after the conjunction?
before.
Always before. Okay? Next sentence. He studied late. That's sentence 1. Are y'all eyes up here, please? The next sentence. Father told him it was time for bed. So these are 2 complete sentences that can stand on their own. Combining them into a compound sentence, you would get, he studied late, so father told him it was time for bed. Okay? So is the conjunction. And pay attention to how we use conjunctions to combine these sentences. Next sentence. She could raise money by selling cookies. She could wash cars. Can we join those 2 sentences?
yes.
Yeah. Who thinks they can tell me how you can join them?
We can say she could raise money by selling cookies. So she could wash cars.
Let's see. Anybody else? And did anyone think that it was going to be or?
Yeah.
Okay, hands down. Emily did. All right. She could raise money by selling cookies, or she could wash cars. Those are two, or is a conjunction you would use to combine two choices. Okay. So choice number one was that she could do what? Raise money by selling cookies. What was the other choice that she could do?
She could wash
She could wash cars. So or is a conjunction you would use to combine two choices. Okay? So some important rules to remember. Okay? If a conjunction is joining two complete sentences, insert a comma before the coordinating conjunction, not after. Okay? But you're not always going to use a comma. And here's why. If it is not joining two complete sentences, do not insert a comma in the sentence. Think about this. On either side of the conjunction, are there a group of words that express a complete thought? Okay? Let's look at this sentence right here, because I'm going to show you why we don't use commas sometimes in these compound sentences or use conjunctions. In this sentence, Spot dug a hole in the ground and buried his bone. Who can tell me why there's no comma right here?
Because when Spot is, it's like it's supposed to be together. The sentence is supposed to be together, and the and was meant to be in the sentence.
Okay, I like that answer. So on this side of the conjunction, okay, on the left side of the conjunction, is this a complete sentence?
Yeah.
Spot dug a hole in the ground.
Yeah.
Is there a subject and a predicate in that sentence?
Yeah.
Yes.
But let's look over here on this side of the conjunction. Buried his bone. Is there a subject and predicate in that?
No.
Buried his bone. I mean, it shows that someone is burying their bone, but it doesn't tell who. You would have to say, Spot dug a hole in the ground. Spot buried his bone. And I don't see Spot in that on that side of the sentence. Okay? So do you comma in the right place? Is a comma going to go before or after the conjunction? Before. Okay. So you're going to add a comma to this sentence, and you also need to choose a conjunction and, but, so, and or. You need to choose one of them to complete the compound sentence. Okay, does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Any questions? No. Okay, you're gonna just write your first name, not your last name. First name only, the date, and follow the directions. Okay, I'm gonna walk around and see what. You have about 10 minutes to complete this. When you finish, if you finish early, you may write 2 complete sentences of your own on the back. Okay. Don't forget your commas. Check the sentence to see if you need a comma.